Fact first. America first. Welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show.
All right, welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show, to our Real America's Voice team, streaming, podcast, all the things. Bullet points. Bullet points are important. And listen, here's the thing. WHYREFI is a company that we really love and care about. They care about us. They care about you. And they've been with us through thick and thin in all of these crazy days. And it really, I'm telling you, when you go through something like we've gone through on the show, Mikey will attest, when you have friends that stick by you, it means the world, and that's WHYREFI. They help you with your private student loan debt. And apparently there's about 45 billion of it that is labeled as distressed in this country. So if that's you, know that WHYREFI will help you with defaulted private student loans or distressed private student loans that others won't touch. They provide you with a custom loan payment based on your ability to pay. This is not some faceless call center. They're going to work with your budget. They're going to work with you even if your credit score is terrible and in the tank. They're going to help you get mom and dad off the loan. And they'll even let you skip a payment every 6 months up to 12 times without penalty. So go to WHYREFI.com, YREFY.com, or call 888-WHYREFI34 and get the help you need. We're going to welcome back radio. Stay right there. All right, so we should ask the question, if this is what democracy looks like, what does the alternative look like? And I think we've seen a pretty good image of what the alternative looks like in the Democrat Party. For 4 years, we lived under tyranny, somebody that didn't respect the rule of law, didn't respect the Constitution. So I put this out yesterday on X, and I got a lot of great feedback on it. So, let's just go through a list. This is a partial list. This is just what I could think of off the top of my head. I spent like 3 seconds on it. Oh, well, there it is. Thank you, team. So the same party that's calling Trump a king and a tyrant and calling conservatives fascists and Nazis for supporting him, this is what they did. They locked kids out of school for nearly 2 years. They forced experimental jabs just to get to work, go out to eat, serve in the military, and then if you refused, you got dishonorably discharged from the military. Thankfully, we've fixed that. They completely ignored and bastardized our immigration and asylum laws to allow over 10 million illegals just to stream into the country. They sued. These are things that you kind of forget. They sued to remove President Trump from the ballot. They tried to make it so he couldn't run for president. They tried to imprison him for 700 years in federal prison. They tried to bankrupt President Trump for what? Successfully paying back a bank loan. That's right. He paid it back. The bank made money. The bank was on his team like they were a witness on his behalf in the trial. They worked to disbar the lawyers that tried to defend President Trump against this lawfare. They spied on at least 8 U.S. senators and at least 1 congressman that we know of in Operation Arctic Frost. They spied on Catholic churches that dared to do Latin Mass. They investigated concerned parents at school boards as domestic extremists. They rewrote Title IX to force men into playing women's sports. They tied federal funding to it. They forced and coerced social media companies into censoring the origins of COVID-19 on social media platforms. They recruited, this thanks to Tony Blinken, they recruited over 50 former intel officials to lie and say that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation, even though they've been gaming this out for years. They cooed a sitting president. They forced Joe Biden out of the race, even though he didn't want to go. And by the way, I still have questions about that when he was in Vegas and there was that emergency health situation that we sort of heard about, and then it disappeared, and they rushed Air Force One back east from Las Vegas. All the police officers, they thought that Joe Biden was dead, and then within 5 days, he stepped out of the race. Well, then what did they do? They crowned Kamala Harris their new candidate without a single primary vote. They weaponized the DOJ against J6ers, even grandmas that took selfies in the Capitol Rotunda and then walked out peacefully. They have issued over 100 national injunctions from rogue judges, black robe tyranny, challenging anything the president is trying to accomplish. and this administration is trying to accomplish. Only, I don't know, about 15 against Barack Obama, far fewer against Joe Biden. Joe Biden forgave billions in student loan debt, even after SCOTUS said it was unconstitutional to do so. So yeah, that party that did all of those things has the audacity, the gall to label President Trump a tyrant and a king. But here's my word for you. This is what democracy looks like. Play it again.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is
That's
what
right.
democracy looks like.
So this is what's crazy. So did you know JFK used 3,000 Alabama National Guardsmen in June 1963 to desegregate a university there? I believe it was a university. LBJ in 1965, 1,750 National Guardsmen and 11,000 federal troops. Eisenhower did the same thing in September 1957, 270 National Guardsmen, 1,000 Army troops. So this is all with precedent. This is all within the Article 2 muscular executive branch realm of the Constitution.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me because for those of you watching this program, would you feel safe with your kid at night walking the O Block of Chicago? Would you feel safe with your kid walking the streets of Memphis or St. Louis at nighttime or riding the subway in New York City? And if the answer is no, that's a big problem because this is the United States of America, not Somalia or some third world country, and that's a big problem. And you guys are going to label Trump as using the Insurrection Act, saying this isn't an insurrection. He's just trying to keep your kids safe on the streets.
Well, and by the way, the people that aren't completely infected with TDS appreciate it, and you see that from clips of normal people in Chicago being like, "Yes, please send the guard," or in Portland where they can't get Antifa to stop harassing their neighborhood or respect noise ordinances. You see this in D.C. where so many people are walking the streets again, and restaurants are open. You can take your family out on the streets. We're going to be welcomed by two guests next segment, all about Oxford Union, where the president-elect celebrated Charlie's murder. We're not letting it go. We'll be right back.